Some dumbass 30-year-old decides to ask to marry me, 15-year-old, so I got him demoted to working at the sewers. This happened about a year back. The condominium we lived in was needing to have this weird electric thing changed, so the electricity company was allowed in with about 30 people to do the job. I was at home with my younger brother and the maid who was leaving soon, but I convinced her to stay, thankfully. 2 men were put to change our ones, so I put my large Borbal in my room and the other dogs in their kennels or in the back garden because they were terrified of the dogs. As first I thought it wouldn't be too big of a deal because they are very friendly unless you make anyone in the house scared, in which case you're effed, and yes, they are good dogs. Somehow they just know, and I think it's got to do with them being farm dogs. At first I hoped the dogs could stick around because I am not comfortable being alone watching 2 grown-ass men in their 30s do their work, especially in Mozambique, but they were scared, so I put the dogs away. Anyway, they did their jobs. I was a bit uncomfortable, but they were professional and there weren't many red flags besides them asking how many dogs we had and which ones were the big ones, and I felt the other dude was a bit touchy and hand-holdy. So once they finished the job, I escorted the last guy out the house, and then he decided to ask how old I was. So because there weren't too many red flags and he was otherwise very chill, chatty, I told him I was 15. He then proceeded to ask me to come home with me and if I could marry him. Obviously my reaction was just WTF, and I said no. He asked why and said he'd come and pick me up the next day, and I said nope again. And then he asked why, and I said it's because I'm a 15-year-old girl and Hess in his mid-30s. It's pretty effing obvious as to why, is it not? I managed to get him to leave and was really shaky because no way in hell am I letting this dude come back tomorrow, so I set all the dogs out and then tell the maid, to which her reply was, you shouldn't tell anyone about this, it will get him in trouble, and then she left to go home.